far below the restless surface of the ocean, deeper than sunlight can comfortably reach, a sound begins to travel. It is not a splash, not the crack of ice, not even the distant rumble of a storm. It is something far stranger. A long, haunting pulse, slow and resonant, vibrating through thousands of kilometers of seawater like the echo of an ancient instrument. To human ears, the sound is almost unreal. But to the largest animal ever to live on Earth, it is a voice. And that voice belongs to the blue whale. For decades, scientists believed they understood these giants of the deep. Blue whales were enormous filter feeders, peaceful travelers drifting through the open ocean, feeding on clouds of tiny krill. Their lives seemed simple compared to the dramatic hunts of sharks or the acrobatics of dolphins. Yet hidden within the vast silence of the deep ocean lies a mystery that continues to puzzle marine biologists across the world. The blue whale sings. Not casually, not randomly, but in patterns so deliberate, so structured, that they resemble a language. And even today, scientists still don't fully understand why. Blue whales are creatures of extraordinary scale. Growing up to 30 meters long and weighing more than 180 tons, they are not just the largest whales alive today. They are the largest animals that have ever existed in the entire history of Earth, larger than the most massive dinosaurs that once walked on land. Their hearts alone can weigh as much as a small car. Their tongues weigh as much as an elephant. And yet, despite their enormous size, they feed on some of the smallest animals in the ocean. Tiny shrimp-like creatures only a few centimeters long. Each day, a hungry blue whale can consume up to 4 tons of krill, filtering them from the water using enormous plates of baleen that hang like curtains inside their mouths. But feeding is only one part of the blue whale's life. Because beneath the feeding grounds and migratory routes, there is another dimension to their existence. A world of sound. In the ocean, vision is limited. Light fades quickly with depth, disappearing entirely just a few hundred meters below the surface. But sound behaves very differently. Water carries sound nearly 5 times faster than air and over vastly greater distances. For animals living in the deep sea, sound becomes the primary way to communicate, navigate, and sense their environment. And when it comes to sound, no animal on Earth is more powerful than the blue whale. The calls of a blue whale are among the loudest biological sounds ever recorded. Some can reach 188 decibels, louder than a jet engine. But what makes them truly extraordinary is not just their volume. It is their depth. Blue whale calls occur at extremely low frequencies, often between 10 and 40 Hz, sounds so deep that they fall at the very edge of human hearing. These vibrations can travel thousands of kilometers through the ocean. One whale, singing in the deep Pacific, may be heard by another whale across entire ocean basins. Imagine trying to speak to someone on the other side of a continent, without ever seeing them. That is the acoustic world of blue whales. For years, scientists assumed these calls were simple signals, perhaps a way to locate mates, or maintain contact between individuals scattered across vast migratory routes. But as researchers began placing underwater microphones, called hydrophones, across the world's oceans, something unexpected emerged. The songs were not random. They followed patterns, rhythms, sequences. In some regions, male blue whales repeat the same song for hours, sometimes for days. A single whale may produce a sequence of pulses and moans lasting 2 minutes, and repeat it over and over again. It is strangely similar to the songs of birds, or even the structured melodies of humpback whales. Yet blue whale songs are far slower, deeper, and more minimalistic. They are like the bass notes of a vast underwater symphony. But here is where the mystery deepens. Because when scientists compared recordings from different oceans, they discovered something astonishing. The songs were changing. Over the past half-century, blue whale songs across multiple oceans have gradually shifted in pitch. Slowly, but consistently, the notes have been getting lower. Researchers first noticed this pattern when analyzing decades of acoustic recordings from the Pacific Ocean. The calls recorded in the 1960s were slightly higher in frequency. By the 1980s, they had dropped. By the 2000s, they were lower still. And this pattern was not isolated. It appeared in populations across the Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Oceans. Blue whales around the world seem to be slowly lowering the pitch of their songs. For what? That question has become one of the most fascinating puzzles in marine biology. Some scientists initially believed the answer might lie in population recovery. During the early 20th century, industrial whaling devastated blue whale populations. At their lowest point, only a tiny fraction of the original population remained. Perhaps, researchers suggested, whales had to sing louder and higher to locate each other across vast empty oceans. As populations slowly recovered in the decades after whaling bans, whales might not need to sing as intensely. Lower frequencies might carry farther. But this theory does not fully explain the pattern, because even today, the songs continue to change. Year after year, generation after generation, almost as if blue whales across the world are collectively tuning their voices downward. No one knows exactly why. To understand the mystery, scientists began studying how these sounds are produced. Unlike humans, whales do not use vocal cords in the same way we do. Instead, blue whales produce sound using specialized structures within their respiratory system. Air moves between chambers in their nasal passages, creating vibrations deep within the skull. These vibrations resonate through massive tissues and bones, generating incredibly powerful low-frequency calls. But producing such enormous sounds requires energy. And that raises another intriguing question. Why would an animal invest so much energy repeating the same call hour after hour across the silent ocean? The answer may lie in behavior. Because in most recorded cases, the singers are male, and their songs often occur during breeding seasons. Just like birds filling forests with courtship songs, male blue whales may be broadcasting their presence across entire ocean basins. But unlike birds, their audience might be thousands of kilometers away. Yet even this explanation leaves scientists unsatisfied, because blue whale songs appear far too synchronized. In certain regions, almost every male whale sings the same version of the song. When that song changes, the entire population seems to adopt the new version. It spreads through the ocean like a cultural trend, almost like a viral melody shared across an entire species. This phenomenon is known as cultural transmission. It has been observed in humpback whales, where song patterns evolve over time as whales copy one another. But blue whales are far more solitary. They rarely gather in large groups. Many individuals may never encounter each other directly. So how do these changes spread so consistently across thousands of kilometers? The ocean itself may hold the answer. Because in a world where sound travels farther than sight, one singer may influence countless others. A single whale calling in the darkness could be heard by individuals hundreds or even thousands of kilometers away. And each of those whales might subtly adjust their own songs in response. An entire species connected not by sight, but by sound. But the deeper scientists listen to the ocean, the stranger the story becomes. Because sometimes, hidden within the deep recordings, researchers detect something unexpected. A call that doesn't match any known blue whale population. A lonely voice singing a slightly different melody. A whale whose song no one else seems to answer. And that raises a haunting possibility. What if there are whales out there, singing songs no one else understands? What if some blue whales are completely alone? In the vastness of the ocean, where sound travels across entire basins, a single voice may echo endlessly, searching for another voice that never comes. And as scientists continue to listen to the deep, the mystery of the blue whale song is only beginning to unfold. Because the next discoveries may reveal something even more surprising. Something that could change how we understand communication, culture, and intelligence in the largest animals ever to live on Earth. But to uncover that story, scientists must first dive deeper into the strange and hidden world of whale acoustics. To understand the full mystery of the blue whale songs, scientists had to do something extraordinary. They had to listen to the ocean itself. For centuries, the deep ocean remained almost completely silent to human ears. Sailors crossed its surface, unaware that beneath them an immense acoustic world was constantly unfolding, a hidden symphony of biological sounds. But in the mid-20th century, a technology developed for military surveillance would unexpectedly open a window into that world. Underwater listening networks. During the Cold War, the United States deployed vast arrays of hydrophones across the oceans to detect submarines. The system, known as SOSUS, was designed to track the faint mechanical noises of vessels moving through the deep. But when scientists later analyzed the recordings, they discovered something far more remarkable. The oceans were full of whales. And among those voices, the most powerful and mysterious belonged to the blue whale. Hydrophones scattered across thousands of kilometers began picking up the same haunting pulses again and again. Deep, rhythmic, deliberate. The song of the largest animal ever to live. But as researchers listened more carefully, they noticed something else. These songs were not universal. Different blue whale populations had different dialects. In the Northeast Pacific, blue whales produce a sequence of long, low-frequency pulses followed by a sweeping moan that gradually fades into the deep. In the Indian Ocean, their songs contain slightly different rhythms and spacing. And in the Antarctic, the calls take on an even slower, almost hypnotic cadence. Each population seems to have its own acoustic signature, a regional style of song that whales within that population repeat over and over. It is almost as if the ocean is divided into vast musical regions. But here is what makes the phenomenon so fascinating. Within each region, every whale sings the same song. Not something similar. The same pattern. The same timing. The same structure. Imagine if every singer across an entire continent suddenly decided to perform the same melody. And when that melody changed, the entire population changed with it. This is exactly what scientists have observed in blue whales. One of the most remarkable discoveries came from decades of acoustic recordings in the Pacific Ocean. When researchers analyzed recordings from different years, they noticed that the structure of the song slowly evolved. A pulse here might shift slightly in timing. A note might stretch longer. A tone might drop deeper. Over years and decades, these small changes accumulated until the song was noticeably different. And yet, at any given time, whales across the region were still singing the same current version. This suggests something astonishing. Blue whales may be learning their songs from each other. That means their songs are not purely instinctive. They are cultural. Culture in animals is rare, but not unheard of. Birds learn their songs from older birds. Orcas pass down hunting techniques across generations. Chimpanzees share tool-using traditions within groups. But blue whales live in a very different world. They rarely form tight social communities. Most of the time, they travel alone or in loose associations across enormous stretches of ocean. There are no schools where young whales gather to learn from elders. No visible gatherings where songs are rehearsed and perfected. Yet somehow, the entire population stays in sync. One possibility lies in the physics of sound in the ocean. Under certain conditions, low-frequency sounds can become trapped within layers of water known as the SOFAR channel, a natural acoustic waveguide that allows sound to travel extraordinary distances with very little loss of energy. Within this channel, a whale's call can travel thousands of kilometers. That means a single singing whale might be heard across an entire ocean basin. Even whales that never meet could still hear each other's songs. In this way, the ocean itself becomes a vast communication network. A whale sings. Another whale far away hears it and subtly adjusts its own call. Gradually, across thousands of individuals, the song evolves. But there is still another mystery. Because the blue whale song is not only changing, it is also becoming quieter in frequency. For decades, the pitch of blue whale calls has been steadily dropping. And scientists cannot fully explain why. Some researchers believe the change might be linked to population recovery. After commercial whaling decimated blue whale numbers in the early 1900s, the oceans became eerily quiet. Whales searching for mates may have needed to sing louder and higher to reach distant companions. As populations slowly recovered, the need for such intense calls may have faded. Lower frequencies might now be sufficient. But this theory remains controversial, because the decline in pitch has continued even in regions where whale numbers have not dramatically increased. Other scientists suggest that ocean noise could be influencing whale songs. Over the past century, human activity has transformed the acoustic environment of the oceans. Cargo ships, oil exploration, naval sonar, and industrial activity generate constant low-frequency noise. The modern ocean is far louder than it once was. Some experts believe whales may be adjusting their songs to avoid interference from this growing wall of sound. But again, the evidence is not clear. The frequency shifts do not perfectly match the patterns of human noise, which means something else may be happening, something we still do not understand. And then there is one of the most haunting discoveries of all. A mysterious whale known simply as the 52 Hz whale. For years, hydrophones detected a whale call that stood apart from all others. While most blue whale songs occur between 10 and 40 Hz, this unknown whale sang at 52 Hz, far higher than typical blue whale frequencies. Its call did not match known blue whale patterns. It did not match fin whales either. And most disturbingly, no other whales seemed to respond. For decades, the 52 Hz whale appeared to travel the Pacific Ocean alone, its voice echoing through the deep without reply. Some researchers suggested it might be a hybrid whale, perhaps a cross between a blue whale and a fin whale. Others believed it could be an individual with a unique vocal structure. But whatever the explanation, the whale became known as the loneliest whale in the world. Its story captured the imagination of scientists and the public alike. Yet it also revealed how much we still do not know about whale communication. Because if one whale could sing a song no one else understands, how many others might exist? Today, marine scientists are deploying new generations of listening devices across the oceans. Autonomous underwater vehicles, deep-sea recording stations, satellite-linked hydrophones drifting silently through remote waters. These instruments are capturing vast libraries of whale sounds, millions of calls recorded from every ocean on Earth. With the help of machine learning and artificial intelligence, researchers are beginning to analyze these recordings in ways that were impossible just a decade ago. Patterns are emerging. Hidden rhythms. Subtle variations in timing and pitch. Some scientists now suspect that blue whale songs may contain far more information than previously believed. Perhaps they are not just signals for mating. Perhaps they convey identity, location, or even emotional states. It is possible that these deep, resonant pulses are part of a far more complex communication system than we ever imagined. And yet, the deeper scientists listen, the more questions arise. Why do blue whales across entire oceans synchronize their songs? Why do those songs slowly change over time? Why are the frequencies still dropping decade after decade? And what exactly are whales communicating across these enormous distances? The answers remain hidden somewhere in the dark waters of the deep ocean. Because the blue whale is not just the largest animal on Earth. It may also be part of one of the largest communication networks ever known in the natural world. An invisible web of sound stretching across entire oceans. Voices traveling through darkness. Songs drifting across thousands of kilometers. And somewhere out there, in the endless blue, another whale is listening.